everybody, and welcome to the Gosh Daniel podcast. This is in place of a book club episode, which are normally our shorter form episodes that we do as like reviews and talking about a book.
Mm-hmm.
But then we realized the Last Jedi trailer was coming out, so yeah, this is a replacement of the book club with just talking about the Last Jedi trailer because it's Star Wars. It's more important.
Let's be honest, people. It really is.
Well, that and Daniel didn't finish the book, but also, I mean,
What?
more
We
importantly,
weren't going to
it's Star
tell them
Wars.
that. We weren't
Well,
going to tell them that.
I'm an honest person, okay?
Star Wars is never like a second option, all right? We
No,
intended to do this
This is the most important.
from the start.
It's more important than talking about a book, okay? It doesn't matter what book it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's hurry this up. It looks like my computer's gonna die soon, and that would really suck if that happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, let's just jump right into it. I'll start off by saying I'm pretty sure this is gonna change how people view Star Wars as a whole, permanently.
I agree.
It was insane. Like, everything about Star Wars is gonna be different now.
I know that. Oh, wow.
Okay, so my theory... Okay, I'll just explain a little bit of what happened. Wait, Daniel, you take us through a rundown of the trailer. I'll plug it on my computer.
Yes. Okay, so basically... how does this trailer start? Okay, so it's something like... you open up and Snoke is doing an epic VO of... And he's talking about, like, this great power that he's seen in this person that he's talking to. Who, you know, it's implied that I guess it's Kylo, but you never know. I know some people were saying that it's Rey, and it probably was. But, so he's talking, he's like, I've never seen this power, whatever, I found you, and da-da-da. And as this is going, you see shots of, like, Kylo Ren, and he's standing over a manufacturing thing that's happening. And then you see shots of, like, Rey and Luke, and, you know, Rey is doing her training with Luke. And, like, but you see the handover of the lightsaber, and then Luke receives it, and
yeah,
then, you know...
I wish they didn't include that, actually. Because it's like, that's too important of a detail, almost.
No, that's true. I did kind of think about that. I felt
didn't think
that
he would take it.
the result of that scene is now, like less of a big deal, just because it was in the trailer. Like, that little shot of, oh, here's the lightsaber, and she just hands it to him. So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, it was
that's
still
probably
amazing.
a scene they could have saved, I guess.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so it continues, and then, wait, there was one big thing where it was like, you know, Kylo has this, like, scar, and it's a weird bandage thing, and then he's like, he's talking about how angry he is, or his teenage hormones, or something like that, and then he's like, I have to finish my past, or whatever, and basically he's implying that he wants to kill Leia, because then there's shots of, like, Leia, and then him in a ship, about to shoot a ship, and then it's, I guess, something like that. It could just be all one big, you know, editing trick, by the trailer editors,
I
but
hope it is,
who knows?
actually.
I don't think I don't know. I mean, I don't think Leia's gonna die that way, I guess.
They really
if
just
she
make it
were
look
to
like
die.
Kylo Ren had his ship pointed at that ship and was about to blow up his mom.
Yeah, because
you know,
I mean, even for
how
the
do
Force
we know?
Awakens, I felt the trailers were deceptive a bit.
I thought the trailers were giving everything away in The Force Awakens, and that was only true entirely. So.
Yeah, that's true, but they still kind of were deceptive. Because I remember seeing the first trailer for The Force Awakens, then, like, months later watching the movie and being like, wow, just thinking about watching that trailer and thinking how different of a movie it was going to be.
And then it was everything else.
And it was everything else. Anyways, so that happens, and then all of a sudden, Rey makes the ground crack, and then Luke is like, oh, it's the Force, I've seen this before, and I wasn't scared enough, but now I'm going to be scared enough, so I'm not training you. And he's all like, ugh. And then Rey's like...
I guess it's implied that. He said something
Oh,
along
I'm
the
sorry,
lines
yes.
of, I've only seen this kind of raw energy once before. And then it cuts to the Jedi temple, like the Luke's Jedi temple burning. That Kylo Ren destroyed. He said, I wasn't afraid of it then, but I am now. Which, I mean, doesn't really tell you if he's not going to train Rey. But that's what the whole
true.
trailer
Like,
seems to be implying. I just don't
yeah,
want
if
to
the
feel
trailer
confusing.
was the movie, basically that's how it would be.
Yeah.
And then so by the end of the trailer, she just goes to Kylo, and we don't even maybe she's we think because
definitely, I
chances
think.
are we don't even like. It's all just really hard to believe, but like because there's so many cuts between everything, and
She's like,
So
I need
she's
somebody
like-
to explain this all to me, and then he
Yes,
just
and
holds out
then-
his hand.
Yeah. So.
That's most of the trailer. I mean, there was also another shot of a porg, which
Oh, I'm sorry. That's like the most important shot, isn't it?
it was, but it was also the ugliest shot. I mean, that porg that was the worst looking porg I've seen. I don't know. I hope it'll turn out better.
I thought you were all about porgs.
I
man.
am. No, I know, and that's why I'm disappointed a little bit. Is just because the CG effect seemed a little underwhelming there. But I bet it'll be better.
In the movie, it'll probably
it'll
be
look
better.
a lot better actually in the theater. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, the tickets also went on sale, and Daniel and I got tickets.
Yay! Thanks
So-
to our favorite.
Yeah, we will be going with our whole group of patrons. Actually, just one patron. We'll be going with Hunt the Bun Gunter.
Who is just really being the all-star
He really
patron
is.
right now.
Yeah, he just immediately bought all three of us tickets, which is incredible. Daniel is flying out to my location for the film.
Just for the
and,
occasion, really.
Yeah, that's actually sort of the main reason you came out. And then, yeah, we'll see it opening night. The
I want to
earliest
know though,
possible
real
showing.
quick, what did you think of the what did you think of that like snow dog thing or whatever it was?
It
like
looks
that
so
ice...
freaking cool.
It did.
I think it was really beautiful. Like, just that. It's a really neat creature design that we haven't really seen that sort of thing before in Star Wars. Like, it looks like a realistic animal, but also like it's made of glass, which is really neat to me.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was the Phasma fight between
Right. Yeah.
Finn and who, like, while watching the trailer and thinking about The Force Awakens, I'm like, you know what? He was probably like one of my favorite characters in the movie. Because I don't know if I liked Rey all that much.
I just thought some of his jokes didn't land very well, but
Yeah, I
think
guess
he is a
in
really
that
good
department, sure, but I don't know. He just seems like an interesting character to me. So.
yeah, it's weird that like all three characters are split up again. Well, not again.
I know you mentioned that in the past, that I totally agree, and that's one of the things I thought about when watching the trailer.
Yeah, like Poe in The Force Awakens, like they sort of advertise it as, you have Poe, Finn, and Rey, and they're like the new Han, Leia, and Luke, or something.
But that's how they're advertising it.
That's
not
how they
actually
advertise
how
it, but it's not. Yeah, like Poe's off on his own thing. Finn and Rey were together, but now Finn's off on his own thing, and Rey's off on her own thing, and they're not like together. Like none of the characters, they know each other.
I mean, come on. Well, if
But,
it was too
wait,
much like Star
I
Wars,
wanna-
you'd be
I wanna
saying,
get
I don't
into
know,
this
it's
for a
just
bit.
too much like Star Wars, right? So I guess they're trying their own thing, but I guess then it'd make it invalid for them to market it like they're all three, the trio, the pals of the movie, which they're not. So.
Yeah. I do want to talk about this thing real quick though. This idea, like it seems like the movie is trying to make you think it's all about Kylo and it's all about Rey, and that's the only part of the movie that really matters. Is it's
But it's not.
Kylo's story and Rey's story, and maybe it will be, but it seems like it's referring to Mortis with all the raw energy. Like it makes
No, you don't think.
Yes, I think it is because so in the Clone Wars there was this Mortis arc, where there are like these entities of the Force. You have the father, the daughter, and the son is embodying the dark side, and the daughter is embodying the light side.
Dude, that was literally my favorite episode.
And then the father, daughter, and son all died at the end. But like that's sort of what balanced the Force, I guess, in the canon, is them, basically. So I think the Force, I think Episode 7, the title makes sense now. The Force Awakens. It's trying to come back to this state of balance using a new daughter and a new son and a new father. And it's possible the father could end up being Luke. I mean, that would be interesting. That'd be an interesting thought. Maybe Snoke is trying to be the father, and he's trying to control the daughter and son that are Rey and Kylo. And maybe that's what he's trying to... Sorry. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. And then Luke is hesitant, but we see on the posters, there's a dark side and a light side poster for the Last Jedi, and Luke is on both sides, making me think maybe he's gonna end up being sort of the reluctant father role that Anakin.
I mean,
refused in
that's a
Mortis arc.
really good theory, but
then
I
there's
feel
all
like
this
you're kind of giving Disney too much credit.
But then there's this, yes, but it's a theory that is so possible because almost everything in the canon has been referring back to Mortis, like since it happened. It seems like the canon's obsessed with this, so it might be giving them too much credit. But I don't see why else they would be working up to this, you know?
Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean,
it's true, and it would be just that'd be beautiful.
It'd be really, really
if they
cool.
did that. Like everyone thinks, oh, is Rey gonna go to the dark side? Like even with that scene, I'm like, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. Something more is gonna happen. Either she's gonna be the one to find the balance between dark and light, or something like that would happen. Like you just said, like that would be amazing.
I think it's just the balance needs to be, the Sith got destroyed. At the end of Return of the Jedi, the Sith are gone, and then the Jedi were there. The Jedi have to end as well, so there's balance in some ways, but there's still light side and there's still dark side, and there's still the Force, and now Mortis is gone, so that's the galaxy's even more unbalanced. So if we have this Mortis thing like come back to fruition through this trilogy, that gives balance to the Force. It also explains why Kylo and Rey are so like unexplainably powerful in The Force Awakens to the point where that's just ridiculous, right? There's this raw power that they keep referring to in both, like, when talking about both of their characters in the trailer, which seems to me to be like, see, the reason why they were so strong in The Force Awakens is because they're not just normal Force users. And then it also validates...
That would make sense.
Another thing I didn't like about The Force Awakens, which was that it seemed like everything Luke did was for naught. Like, apparently he just sucks. And that's it. Is what it seemed like in The Force Awakens. It was sort of pessimistic, but with this Last Jedi, theory that I have, it means that, no matter what Luke was attempting to do, no matter what he was trying to do, it was the will of the Force. And the Force is what moved all of this to happen. And the Force, I don't know. The Force was awakened, I guess. And
whoa!
In using Rey and Kylo, it's trying to create balance again.
Wait, first of all, I want to ask real quick, what was your overall did you love the trailer because of this theory that has come up and that kind of confirmed it even more than what you were thinking originally, or
yes. It's
the trailer
more unpredictable.
So that's why I like the trailer too, because it seemed, because I was looking in the comments and people were being brutal. They're like, the Justice League trailer was better than this, and I was like, oh jeez.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I guess a lot of people don't really understand Star Wars.
Oh yes, of course, but we'll explain it to them.
No, but that's the thing, is that I don't think it was a particularly good trailer, but it shows parts of the movie that make me realize
fact that
the movie
this
is a good
theory
movie.
comes to light, yeah.
And it's not just this theory, because either way you look at it, they set it up as there are these two beings with extreme power, and that's Rey and Kylo. So even if they don't follow with the Mortis arc, you still have aspects of it.
It's true.
And it's an interesting new direction to take Star Wars. You have, somebody who's like, no. It's not like you can bring balance to the Force because you're super powerful, Luke. It's like Luke being, wait a minute, that didn't work last time. I'm not going to train you because you're powerful. Driving somebody down the wrong road. But then we also see Kylo's conflict. He's conflicted throughout this movie, what it looks like from the trailer at least, even more so than he was in the last one. And I guess they've explained that in a couple of different places in the canon, but I guess at the end of the day, it seems like it's Kylo and Rey are both just different aspects of the same character, I guess. They're different aspects of the same power, and they're both, in a way, the main character and the point of the movie. And so I don't care how they go along with it, if they follow the Mortis arc or not, but it's a really interesting, unique idea to have. These aren't just Jedi and Sith. These are these force entities that are the main character of the story, and we follow, what's happening to them, and how does this change the force?
Yeah, so do you think that in episode 9, like, so by the end of The Last Jedi, will, like, according to what you're thinking, so, like, that scene that we saw where Rey and Kylo are supposedly talking and they're like, hey, we should figure this thing out together, do you think that's, like, at the end of The Last Jedi, and then when 9 comes out, that'll be them furthering on that, now that they've come to that conclusion that they should just find a balance?
You know what? I think that will be like... I think they'll still have conflict throughout that.
Uh-huh.
My guess is that Rey is talking to Kylo. She's like, I need somebody to help me out. Kylo's like, yeah, sure. And then they're both conflicted about it, and Rey... I think they'll end up fighting, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that won't get fully resolved, but they'll have set it up. And then I think
Yeah.
it'll go to episode 9, in which J.J. Abrams will make it boring again.
Uh-huh.
But that's, yeah, like, we will have a period of, like, almost 2 years of, like, wow, Star Wars is going in a new direction, until episode 9 decides, nope, no new directions here. It's just speculation, I guess. I think it'll ruin it again, but I think episode 8 will just take it in a new direction that will eventually be squashed. But I don't know. I think that, oh, man, this is going to turn into a J.J. Abrams rant again, but out of all the people they could have chosen, him to direct it again, I felt like that was such a dumb move. The Force Awakens was extremely well received or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, lots of people loved it, and everybody's like, yeah, it's better than the prequels. Some people are like, it's the best movie of all time.
That isn't that hard to do.
Other people are saying, you know what? It's not that great. It's not the best. And I wish they did something else. Like, they wouldn't even have to, just someone new, someone different, right? So we can get 3 different, like, that's what it's all about. But no. I mean, JJ could make a good movie, but I can't honestly say if The Force Awakens was really made with the intent of what The Last Jedi is doing. Because it feels like...
I agree, like, where Rian Johnson is taking it...
is fixing The Force Awakens.
I totally agree.
More than it's adding on to The Force Awakens and what The Force Awakens set up. I think
because it didn't really set up that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think The Force Awakens is not a standalone movie, and I don't think The Last Jedi can be either. But with this arc that they're doing, that I'm hoping that they're doing, from the arc that it seems like they're doing, either way, is more unique, but it also can't be done in a movie, you know? That's a very big deal.
And to some sense, I think in one way or another, they're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, like, the particular way we're thinking.
I think to some extent the Jedi will end, because the Sith ended. But there will still be a light and there will still be a dark. It won't just go gray, maybe, like I thought before.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that pretty much nothing else matters other than where Rey and Kylo end up. I think, that's literally all that matters. Like, the First Order could take over, or the First Order could die. But, like, if Kylo and Rey end up alright, like, everything else is sort of temporary. At least in my head. Which makes me think maybe the rest of the movie really won't interest me at all. Even though it's good, like, there's just so much that seems like there's this giant thing happening here, and why can't we get over to that?
They have to savor it, I guess, the best they can. If something, I don't know. I mean,
do you think Luke will die?
Yeah.
I thought Luke would die after seeing the first trailer, but this one makes me think.
Not in this one, though. I think it's going to be a 9.
I thought he was going to die in The Last Jedi, but I don't think so anymore.
And what do you think about, like, Finn, though? How will he fit in everything? And Poe, like, they're kind of characters, too.
Yeah,
like, what are they going to do?
I think they're just side characters because they're not giant mega force entity Mary Sue's.
Like, that was the amazing part about the original, right? Because you had Han Solo, and you had just 3 different people, and they all had their own time in the spotlight, right? But it wasn't like it was evenly throughout all the movies, right? And like you said, they didn't have to be super powerful. They could just be doing their thing. So, yeah.
I'm getting the sense that this new trilogy is going to be more like the characters are more separated, the characters are more alone, and it's like I feel like it'll have a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Versus,
yeah,
the original
right.
trilogy, the three of them were there, and the three of them pretty much stayed together throughout the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And their arc sort of ended together a little bit. But I think The Last Jedi starts where, to some extent, they're all together in a loose sense, and they drift apart, and they have their own endings. Each, of the three characters, I think, ends in a different way.
Yeah.
So I think what they're doing is, there was this thing between Rey and Finn, and there was maybe a thing between Finn and Poe, depending on who you talk to. But
oh my gosh.
Poe is off busy doing his own thing. Finn is now with Rose, I guess.
Yeah, that's a thing, I guess.
And now Rey is doing the...
Kylo and Rey.
It's either Kylo and Rey, or it's Kylo v. Rey for all of eternity.
That's true. We'll just have to wait and see where it goes,
Yeah, but
and I think that's the last trailer, basically. Right? I think that's enough. Like,
please, no more. Yeah,
we're good. We are good.
I'm not good. I'm at least not gonna watch anything else if they put anything else out.
Oh, that'd be so tempting, but it'd be for the best.
I almost didn't watch this trailer
if they do.
And I sort of wish I did.
Didn't Ryan Johnson say something about it?
Yeah, he said just don't watch anything else. And I was like, okay, but then the trailer came out and blew my mind, and then I couldn't resist. So
it was so crazy watching the numbers climb in views.
Oh, did you? I didn't actually pay attention to that.
It was within an hour and 30 minutes, it had 4 or 5 million views.
Really?
So.
What does it have now? I'm gonna check.
I think it has I don't know. Last time I checked, it had 9 million, so it might have up to 12. I don't know.
14 right now.
Oh yeah, it's still getting
pretty good
up there. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's more than any of the Rogue One trailers got.
It's more than the Justice League trailer got overall.
Oh.
So 12 million is what the Justice League had.
Yeah, the only thing I can think about with that Last Jedi trailer, with the Justice League trailer, I watched the Weekly Planet, or I guess Mr. Sunday Movies breakdown of the Justice League trailer, and now I can't get the image out of my head as Clark Kent looking like a duck.
What?
I don't know.
I have to watch that now because I do not get that.
If you heard this podcast, just go check out that video because it's hilarious. But yeah, just the way that he's angled and the way he stands, he just looks like a duck. It's really weird. And so nothing about it. I've forgotten literally everything else about that trailer. The only memorable part was that he looks like a duck.
Okay, good for you, man.
Wow, thanks. So patronizing.
Yeah. Well, is that all we have to say though about this amazing trailer? I guess.
I guess I should just end with saying that my predictions are all wrong. It's not going to be that cool, and it'll probably be cool and good in a different way, and in a more understandable and reasonable way, in a more mainstream way, and then J.J. Abrams will make it boring, maybe.
But we got to see Snoke, which was cool, and he looked good.
Oh, right, yeah. That was good. Oh, and I noticed, just hearing Snoke say raw, I just thought of, all I could think of was when Andy Serkis was playing Gollum in the Hobbit movies and stuff.
I knew you were gonna say something
likes
like
it
that.
Raw. That's all I could think of. And then he still, he doesn't look like Gollum, surprisingly, but I think Snoke looks worse when you actually get to see him than when you see him as a hologram in the dark.
Oh, you're so right, though.
I think he's ugly.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's supposed to be ugly, but I think his CG is sort of ugly.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't like his CG in a lot of
I thought
trailer.
it looked okay. I kind of liked it, actually. I don't know.
I just think it'll look better, when, I actually get to see the movie. But
yeah,
some of the CG just seemed really off in this trailer.
Yeah,
Except for the
we'll just have to wait and see,
things.
okay? The weird dog things.
The weird
those
glass
were
ice fox things. Those were cool. They looked
Those
good.
were pretty boss. All right.
All right. Well.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess that's it.
That's more talking about the trailer than it is breaking a trailer down, or even theories for a movie. But I think overall, they've made Kylo Ren like a compelling character, and they've made Luke more interesting than I expected him to be. So that's good enough.
I don't know if I'm a fan of the Kylo whimpery side of things, but
Really? I like the idea that he's, just sort of able to, that he's having like conflicting emotions, I guess, like that's cool to me. That's sort of important, I think, that, he's to some extent a balanced entity. Like he uses the dark side, but he feels the light side, and there's nothing that he can do to change that. I think that's a really interesting dynamic that I haven't really seen explored before. Like they talk about Darth Vader having like this this whole thing where he still is part of the light side, but you don't ever really realize that. Like you always think that he's part of the dark side until just the very end when he becomes the light side character. I think it's cool that Kylo Ren gets to be both. Like he gets to be light side and dark side. But yeah, that's all.
I guess. But anyways, thanks for listening, I guess. And hope you have a great day and a great night. So, goodbye.
Final go. Bye.